to comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
For me.
And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Hey everyone, it's the Politics Chick here. Hope you are having a great week so far. Now, I'm going to ask you to sit down again. I'm going to be a little controversial, and I'm going to ask you to hang on to your hat here, because you're not going to believe what I'm about to say. I know I'm still kind of reeling from it, but I was scrolling through the news and I started reading some commentary from Charlamagne the God. And the further down I read, the more I realized, wow, on this point, I actually agree with this guy. So I know it's shocking, right? I don't really agree with him on much of anything, but in this case, I do. So he was calling out the Governor of Maine, Janetmills, over what he called her losing talking point in defending transgender athletes and women's sports. So if you missed it, back end of last week, Trump had all of the governors over for a business meeting to, discuss policies and things. And, they're having a bit of a powwow and, a nice dinner and all gathered together. And he brought up the subject of trans athletes and, has a ban, right, that men can no longer compete in women's sports. And he had a little back and forth with Janet. And I'll say one thing for Janet, she's got some kahunas on her, because she was going back and forth in front of everybody. And basically Trump said, so, I've signed this and this is a law, right? And she was like, and he said, so you're following it, right? And she pretty much said, I follow federal law. He was like, well, I am federal law. This is federal law. And she proceeded to tell him, no, it wasn't. And that she would see him in court. And, of course, in true Trump style, he said he would love that and looks forward to it. And then proceeded to say that, after she loses that case and her term is over, she won't have a job in politics anymore. But, that's Trump. And I've got to give it to Janet. She tried to hold her own there in that meeting. But it really is, to Charlamagne the God's point, it's a losing talking point, right? In defending transgender athletes in women's sports. This has been signed. And he says that, America's just not with it in general. And because it impacts, this is his words, it impacts such a small group of people, it makes a lot of other people think that these folks, being the Democrats, lack common sense. And his argument is, why are they even having that conversation? And look, I get it. There'll be people out there that will say, well, it's their right and, she should be having that conversation. But there are also two ways of looking at this. There's a lot of things that we have going on at the moment that affect everybody. Whatever your race, your gender, your sexual identity, your political, affiliation, everybody is struggling because of this economy that we have, the high inflation, the high interest rates, the cost of gas, the cost of food, the cost of housing, the cost of rent. On top of that, we have issues at the border, and we have all of the stuff going on around the world, right? We're trying to broker some peace around the world and prevent World War III. We've got Israel and Hamas. We have Ukraine and Russia. There's just so much going on out there. My question is, your top priority, in my opinion, is for the majority, which, I would say everybody, those things I've just rattled off, and I think Charlamagne the God is saying the same thing, right? Those are the things that are high priority that we need to get fixed first. So I'm just not sure, as he's not sure, that this is a hill that they want to die on, right? Because the Democrats lost this, election, and it was a resounding thumping that they got from Trump. Look at what they're doing with Elon Musk, with Doge. They're trying to stop him from finding when I say they, I'm referring to the Democrats. They're trying to stop him from finding government waste. And again, I think I said this in my last video, and I'll say it again today. They don't want him looking too closely, because we'll all find out just how fat their pockets got. So I just think that people need to focus on what really matters to pretty much everybody in the United States. And those are the things that I mentioned. So, he came out and pretty much said, this is just not right. And this is why the Democrats, have lost and will continue to lose in the future. if they keep solely focusing on these talking points. But anyway, always interested in your thoughts. Please, you let me know what you think in the comments. If you like what I'm doing here, please support the channel by sharing and subscribing. And you will hear from me, the Politics Chick, later in the week. I hope you all have a great day.